So guys, here we go again. Considering this question here, this is a very good example that's actually based on division of polynomials. So here in this case, we are asked to um, divide this expression here. One thing about long division of polynomial is that the first thing you have to take note is when you're dealing with long division, we used to write something like this, such that whatever you have inside this root, hmm, whatever you have outside and whatever you have up here, they all have their own meaning. Whatever you have up here is what we call the quotient. Call it quotient. Okay? And whatever you have inside this bracket is called the dividend. And whatever you have outside there is called the divisor. So after going through your own expression, after simplifying, whatever you have as your final answer here is what we call the remainder. So in a very simple logic, we can actually say that if you multiply whatever you have outside there and whatever you have here plus this remainder, the result will surely give you this dividend. So in summary, this simply implies that if you are trying to do something like this, when you say divisor times, okay, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. Okay, I can easily say that whenever you have divisor times this divisor that you have here times this quotient plus the remainder that we actually have here previously plus the remainder, okay, the result must always give you this what, this dividend. So let me just go straight to this question now. So in this question, you have to follow the step is very important. If 2x squared, this 2x squared plus x minus 3 is the dividend, why this is the divisor. So by the time if I decide to draw something like this, so inside this I will have 2x squared plus x minus 3, and the divisor is x minus 2. So the question asks us to find the remainder. Whatever I have down here is my remainder. So the steps you have to follow is this. You have to consider the first term you have in this dividend. This is the first term here. And the first term you have in the divisor. You have to divide them together. This is 2x squared, this is x. So let's say these are working sheets. 2x squared divided by x. This will divide this. That's the first step. So if this cancel this, you have just 2x left. So this 2x, you have to write it up here as your quotient. Then the second step is you have to use this result to multiply the divisor again. And that will be 2x times x. That will give you 2x squared. Then 2x times minus 2, that's minus 4x. In continuation, you have to take note of the third step. You have to change the sign in this case. There's an invisible plus here, change to the opposite side, that is minus. There's a minus here, change to the opposite side, that's plus. So therefore, this will cancel this. X plus 4x, that's what? That's 5x minus 3. So therefore, you continue again. Repeat the step again. And the step says that step 1 says take the first term you have in this dividend and take the first term you have in this divisor. So 5x divided by x. So you should know that that will surely give us 5. So then this 5, you have to write it up here. That was the way I actually started from. So then this 5 multiply the divisor, that's the second step. 5x times x, that's 5x. And 5 times minus 2, that's minus 10. Then you go ahead again. Change the sign, the third step. This is plus, change it to minus. This is minus, change it to plus. So this will cancel this. Hence, I have minus 3 plus 10, and that's what? 7. So whatever I have here now is my what? Is my remainder. The correct answer here is what? 7. So in a nutshell, this is what I'm trying to say. If I multiply this and this together plus 7, I will surely have this result back. So take note of that. I think I have a question like that. That is x minus 2 times 2x plus 5. That is divisor times the quotient plus the remainder. You must get this result. You can try that because 2x times 2 x times 2x is 2x squared, then plus 5x, then minus 4x, then plus 10 plus 7. Sorry, minus 10 plus 7. So this, and you have 2x squared here, this and this will give us plus x, and minus 10 plus 7, that's minus 3. You see, it is still the same thing. So that's how division of polynomial works. So take note of the steps, okay? Please take note of the steps. So in continuation, let's take another one. I think that is clear enough. Let's take another question. Here in this case, we asked to find the polynomial if the quotient is given as this and the divisor is this and the remainder is this. So the quotient is given as q of x. Q of x is given as x squared minus x minus 5. And then the divisor is also given as 3x minus 1. The remainder is given as 7. So you see, I've just explained this. I've given you a clue to this. We all believe that if I multiply divisor and quotient together plus the remainder, I will surely have the dividend. The dividend is the polynomial itself. Okay? It's the polynomial you're actually looking for. So here in this case, I have the divisor as 3x minus 1, then times my quotient is x squared minus x minus 5, then plus the remainder, which is 7. So let's see what this is going to give us. 3x times x squared, that will surely give us 3x cubed minus 3x times minus x, that's 3x squared, then minus 15x. Then finally, we have minus 1 times x squared, that's minus x squared, then plus x, then plus 5. Do you agree with that? Minus 1 multiply everything, I have this result. So finally with what? Plus 7. So if I collect like terms in this case, I will end up having 3x cubed. I have minus 3x squared minus x squared, that's minus 4x squared in this case. I have minus 15x plus x, that's minus 14x. Then 5 plus 7, and that is plus 12. So this is my final answer in this case. And that is equivalent to option A. This that is very, very easy. You find that very easy. So A is correct in this question, in this part. So let's look for another question. I think I have another one. This is very, very direct. This is just function. F of minus 2 over what is this? Just insert minus 2 over there. That's very, very easy to solve. This is another one. So let's try this. In this case, if 6x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 1 divide this. So in this, in a nutshell, that means whatever I have here is my dividend, right? And whatever I have here is my divisor. So in this case, my dividend is 6x cubed plus 2x squared minus 5x plus 1. So let's take the divisor as x squared minus x minus 1. So that's what we're given. So remember the steps, the division of long polynomial. And that means you have to take the first step you have in this dividend, and sorry, the first term you have in this dividend, and the first term you have in your divisor. So by the time you divide it together, that is 6x cubed divided by x squared. So that should give us 6x. So you are left with 6x right up there. Now this 6x will multiply all the terms we have in the divisor. So let's take that 6x times x squared, and that will give us 6x cubed. Then 6x times minus x, I have minus 6x squared. Then 6x times this, I have minus 6x also. So then I think the third step I've actually explained so far is that you have to change the signs you have here. So if you have, there's an invisible plus here, change to the opposite sign, that's what? Minus. There's a minus here, change it to the opposite sign. There's a minus here, change it to the opposite sign. There's another way of doing that, you can actually subtract them, but I prefer doing it this way. So this will cancel this. The next thing is you have 2x squared plus 6x squared. And that's what? That's 8x squared. Then minus 5x plus 6x, that's what? That's plus x. Then this plus 1, you bring it down. You repeat that same step again. Take this first term and take this first term you have here, then you divide. That is 8x squared divided by x squared. I'll be left with just plus 8. So you go ahead again, 8 times the terms you have in the divisor. 8 times x squared, that is 8x squared. Then minus 8x. Then if this 8 multiply this minus 1, I have minus 8. So you know what to do. The last step here says that you have to change this sign to the opposite. So that's plus, sorry, this is minus. Before it was plus, you change to minus. This one change to plus, this one change to plus. This will cancel this, right? I have x plus 8x, and that's what? 9x. And I have 1 plus 8, and that's 9. So this is the remainder. So the remainder is this. So how will you know when to stop? in this case, you have 9x plus 9. How will you know when to stop? If you go ahead with this division again, if you say 9x divided by x squared, 9x divided by x squared, now I have 9 over x. Does that make any sense? In fact, whenever you get to a constant value here, then you know that you stop in this case. So the remainder here is just 9x plus 9. So option A is totally correct. So that means in this case, if you multiply this divisor and this quotient together, if you add this with this remainder, the result must give you what? This polynomial expression that you actually have here. This is a cubic polynomial. Okay, so you see all these things are very, very easy. So option A is also correct in that case. So do I still have any other question? Okay, I have multiplication of polynomials here, but this is of three variables. In this case, you have to use this 3x to multiply everything you have here. So in a nutshell, you have 3x times 2x, and that's 6x squared. 3x times this, you have minus 9xy. So you have to be very fast about this. 3x times z, you have plus 3xz. Then you go ahead again. This 5y, we multiply everything you also have here. 5y times this, then you have 5y times 2x, that's 10xy. Again, 5y times minus 3y, that's minus 15y. Then 5y times z, that's plus 5yz. Done. You have to use this plus 4z to multiply everything. 4z times this 2x, you have 8xz. 4z times minus 3y, that's minus 12yz. And then 4z times z, that's plus 4z squared. So you want to add everything together normally. You are still adding them. I don't have enough space, so that means we want to add all this together. So I have 6x squared standby. Okay, and I also have, what else again? I have 9xy minus 9xy plus 10xy. Do I have another xy? No. 6x squared is already there. Minus 9xy plus 10xy. That's just plus xy. So what do I have left? I have xz. I have xz there. So 8, 3 plus 8. And in that case, I have plus 3xz. And here in this case, I have plus 8xz. And that should be plus 11xz. So what else do I have? I have yz, I have yz. Plus 5 minus 12. And minus, that should be minus 7yz. And lastly, I have minus 15y. And I have plus 4z squared. This should be minus 15y squared. Please take note of that. I'm sorry for that. So therefore, the final answer is I can see 6xy, I can see xy, I can see my 15y square here, I can see plus 4z square, I can see plus 11. So A is also correct in this case. So I think that's clear enough. Do I still have any other question based on division of polynomials? I don't think so. Okay, I think that's all for now. So that's all for now. So what I want to do now is to just pick some set of questions randomly. Let me use the opportunity to solve some expression here. In this case, okay, okay. Kindly change your subject. Okay, this is another polynomial here. What is the product of this and this? I believe you can do that. So you can try this on your own and then pick the correct answer over there. And my next explanation will be based on, I have to focus on this. That's sum and product root of a quadratic equation. I think I have to touch this topic. So that's very, very important. I have to touch this topic. I have to touch it. So I'm still looking for more questions based on. Okay, I've seen another one. Division of polynomials. So I want to divide something like this: 4x cubed minus 3x plus 1, and I have 2x minus 1. So you can try this. Trivially, I believe you can actually do this, and then just find I think you need to get I think it's the quotient, or possibly this might be the remainder. Just try it out. Just try it. You can actually divide this.